Hello, good evening. We are here to do a restorative class, which restorative classes are to get you into a state of what's called rest and digest so that your whole body can just completely relax and it doesn't have to do any work. It's a really great class right before bed, or if you just need a little break in the middle of the day, you could do a restorative. And today's restorative class is called Delight. We've been using that word now for the last 2 weeks. We had a slow flow delight class and a chair delight class. This completes the Delight series. Delight is an approach of childlike innocence and freshness. Bring pleasure and enchantment to each relationship, event, and task of everyday life. For today's class, you will need a bolster, at least 2 blankets, 3 would be better, an eye mask, 2 blocks, and a strap. I forgot to bring my strap out. I'll have to get that. You don't have to have the strap, but it makes it a little bit nicer when we do our Baddha Konasana restorative pose. So you don't have to work too hard for your legs to stay at a nice angle. We will focus on deep relaxation and healing of the body. This will allow the central nervous system to fully relax so that healing can occur. You do understand that when you're fully relaxed, that's what the deep sleep and the restful sleep helps your body to restore and repair. So if we're doing a restorative class, you're letting your central nervous system repair. It's like a computer shutting down and rebooting. That's what restorative yoga does for a person. It reboots you. So we're going to start with a supported fish pose, and I've got mine set up. So this is the one. There's a couple of different ways that you can set up. I am a person that's on the smaller side, so my bolster is too big to go under my back. But if you are a larger person, the bolster would probably be great because the purpose of the fish pose is to get a little bit of a back bend. I don't want to go too deep because that can be irritating. So you're going to have a bolster or a blanket under your knees, or you're going to have the bolster under your back across the midsection. Your blocks are going to be so that your hands have a nice place to rest. And then we're going to bring another blanket to just lay on top of us for a little bit of grounding. Just the nice weight of the blanket provides grounding, but I want to show you before I cover up to show you how my chest is opened here, because I'm in like a slight back bend with this underneath my upper back. And then I have put a lumbar pillow to give my lower lumbar a little bit more support. You could use another blanket or a small pillow if you have low back lumbar issues. And then I have a blanket overhead, because if you want to go into a deeper stretch and fish pose, you can bring your hands overhead and relax. Oh, I got to get my eye mask. So go ahead and start setting up, and we will stay in this pose about 12 minutes. Then we will come out of it. I'm going to get my eye mask. I like an eye mask when I'm doing restorative. It feels really nice. And I'm going to get my strap out while everyone is gathering their things. So I hope that you are getting settled into your pose. I'm going to settle back into mine. I've got this set up so that I just really have to lay down. I like to keep my socks on during restorative, and usually I wear a long sleeve, but it's hot here today, and I keep the air turned up pretty high, so it's not too cold in the house, even though it's very hot outside. I think everyone is in this record heat thing that we're having. I'm going to bring this close so I can keep check of the time. And I will see you back here in about 11 to 12 minutes. I will do a little ding on my chime to let you know that we're going to start coming out of our pose. I hope that you have a nice back bend here for your fish pose, because we're inverting, or we're back bending the spine for that good heart opener. I'm going to make a little adjustment. There we go. That's better. Needs to be more up underneath the shoulder blade area, because that's where you really want to lift the back bend up. And if you're not doing the poses and you're just watching, it's a very boring class to watch, because I will be laying here, not moving. Before you come out of the pose, I'm going to direct you on how to do it. You can lay there, maybe gently start opening your eyes, and do any last minute little wiggles. And then to come out, you're simply going to just roll over completely onto your side, and then push with your top hand, lifting your head up last. Now, we're going to set up for Baddha Konasana. I hope you enjoyed fish pose. I got very relaxed. My dog's circling around like a shark. I'm not sure what he's thinking. He's looking for my husband to get home. Thinks he's been gone too long. So for Baddha Konasana, we're going to take our blanket, and it is folded long ways. This one's folded wrong. Anyway, it's folded in a square. Put your fringe up at the head and make a tiny roll for your neck, depending on how big that your head to your shoulder is. Mine's narrow. Some people may need a thicker roll. I actually, let me look at this, depending on where I'm laying. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so that's my roll for my neck. And then this is where the strap comes in handy. It's not mandatory, but it does add a little bit. We're going to take our strap, make a big loop in it. Maybe a bigger loop anyway. And we're going to have our supine Baddha Konasana restorative pose. It's more than just supine because it's restorative. That's what the strap comes in handy for. If you don't have a strap, you can use a pillow, blankets, or a block to let your knees rest on. Otherwise, the strap is going to go around them and hold them up. We're going to take our strap. I want to get the buckle away from me. I'm going to put it back around my low back. Get it off of my knee. And then we have it around our ankles. We'll have to get it in here right. You lay back. I've got it wrong. Somehow I've got it in here wrong. I'm getting it confused with another one. Okay, take it away from your ankles. I got to make my loop a little bit smaller too. It's a little bit too big. And it just goes on top of the shins, down close to the ankle, around the outer thighs, and then depending on the stretch you're looking for, we don't want to go too deep when we're in a restorative pose because it can become very uncomfortable quickly. So my knees are going to be up pretty high. If you don't have your strap, just simply wedge your pillows underneath your leg to whatever comfort level that you want to have the legs up. And remember, it may feel okay on that groin if you have it where the legs are out pretty close to the ground, but when you lay here for 10, 12 minutes, you're going to be feeling some pain. So make it comfortable. The whole point of restorative is to be as comfortable as possible so that your body is not doing any work. It's just simply relaxing. And again, I'm going to have my lumbar pillow underneath my low back for support. I have my neck rolled here. Make sure I've got everything correctly. In fact, I think I'm going to adjust this to be even a little higher. Just because, there we go. I want to be completely relaxed. The soles of our feet are together, and they will remain together like they're glued. And then my knees are resting in this loop, being supported. And we're going to just a tiny stretch, no more. Loosen that just a little bit. And I'll meet you back here in about 10 to 12 minutes. Let me check the time. And I've got a blanket covering my feet, kind of wrapping it around, really getting my feet nice and cozy. And then I'm going to take my other blanket and put over my midsection for that grounding. My eye mask. Anytime you place anything on your forehead, it tends to relax you. So I'm going to place that there. My hands are just out to the side. I'm just getting really adjusted in here of how I want to be. There we go. So make any of your adjustments, and if you need to do an adjustment, maybe you got your legs out too far after about 5 minutes, go ahead and just either put the blocks, pillows a little further into the legs so the knees come up higher, or adjust your strap. We're going to start coming out of Baddha Konasana. And how I want you to do this is you will take your feet, and if you didn't have a strap, put your hands on the outside of your thighs and help your legs come together with your feet coming to the mat and your knees pointing to the ceiling. It's very important that you come up nice and slow, and of course don't jerk up out of it, and you want to have that support because you really had your legs in a big wide open position, really stretching that groin and doing a nice hip opener. And then you can roll over onto your side and take your top hand and push yourself up slowly with your head coming up last. It's very important in restorative poses that you come out of them very slowly, because your body has really settled in there. Now we're going to come to our third pose, which is supine rotation. Oh no, we're not going to do. Is that one we have to do both sides? Let's see how long we've been at it. 44 minutes. Try to keep my class to an hour. There's a pose that I really want to try, so we're going to go ahead and do it because sometimes I put an extra pose in just in case, but if I have to do more explaining or adjusting, then that kind of limits what we're going to do. We're coming to our final pose, which is, this is a new pose and I've never done it before, so that's why I want to do it instead of the rotation. And this one is called Mountain Brook Pose. And like I said, I've never heard of it, but it says it's one of the basic restorative poses of all times. And my daughter told me, because she also is a yoga certified instructor, that sometimes they just have different names for things, but I've never actually done this pose. So we're going to look like a mountain bubbling stream. And this takes quite a few blankets and setup. So we're going to move our strap out of the way. We're going to keep this nice little blanket for our head rolled up. It's going to look like a rippling stream. We're going to take our other blanket that's still kind of rolled up. I try to keep my blankets folded a certain way because that's how we use them. And I'm going to fold this kind of small. I'm going to keep mine folded like this. We want a little ripple on our spine, through our mid spine. I may have to see if I had I know what I'm going to use instead of my blanket. Probably a blanket is good for everybody else, but we don't want too much of a back bend on this one. I'm going to use this little flat pillow. And we want this blanket or a little pillow to be right at the base of your spine and into your chest, so that it's just, you're raised a little, like we have a little ripple here, a little ripple here, and now we're going to have a little ripple underneath our knees. So I'm going to roll my blanket. We don't want the bolster, that's too thick for that. And then our other blanket is going to be kind of a small ripple that goes underneath your ankles so that your feet are going to be more straight. And then that's that. I'm going to have to get another blanket to cover up with. So here we are. A little ripple or a wave of a gentle mountain brook. And then you're just going to relax. And I'll be back in about 12 minutes for our namaste. I've got to do the dog duty. If you don't see me, that's why. Just stay where you're at in your mountain brook pose. And if you haven't noticed already, this pose really opens the chest and is wonderful for really getting a lot of airflow through your lungs and your diaphragm. So I'm going to lead you through a box breath before we come out of our restorative session. I'm going to count that for you. I hope you guys enjoyed the babbling brook noises with the animals lapping the water, scourging around. My dog is blind and deaf. Well, he can see shapes, but I have a big yoga bag over there that he kept stumbling over. And I think he drank his water too fast because then he started coughing. So we had some nature noises with us tonight or today, this afternoon, whenever you're doing this class. For our box breath, I'm going to count for you, and you will inhale through your nose to the count of 4 and hold to the count of 4 and exhale through the mouth to the count of 4 and hold to the count of 4. And we'll go through 3 rounds of box breath, which is sometimes known as Navy SEAL breathing. It's to help reduce anxiety and stress. So we know they are very courageous young men and women that serve in the Navy SEALs. So I'm sure they have a lot of stress and anxiety. So here we go. Remember, inhale nose, hold, exhale mouth, hold. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, mouth. 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. And just relax. Take a couple of maybe just normal breaths, or maybe you want to do a couple of deep breaths. Maybe you want to inhale your arms up overhead, just give a little stretch. It's always nice when you're coming out of deep restorative. This is kind of like a Shavasana pose here. It's very relaxing. You can see why it's called a base restorative pose, because you're just completely supporting, almost like you're floating. Looks like ripples and waves with the way we have our blankets placed. And when you feel ready, go ahead and bring your feet to the mat. And I'm going to push my blanket out of the way, and my knees are pointing towards the ceiling. I'm going to do another nice inhale and exhale. And then I'm going to roll over onto my side, and I'm going to stay in this nice little fetal position. Put my pillow up here for just a couple of breaths. Really enjoying the benefits of restoration here. I've had a busy day. We had my grandkids over and my oldest daughter over for lunch, and really enjoyed that company. Oh, and then when you feel ready, take your top arm and push yourself up slowly, bringing your head up last. And you do that for two reasons. One is for back support, so you're not twisting your back, especially since we've been relaxing. It's the best way to get up in the morning. And the other one is, if you have high blood pressure and you come up too fast, or even if you don't have high blood pressure, you might get a little dizzy or lightheaded. So that helps to prevent it with bringing the head up slowly. And the last thing to come up. I'm going to come up here. I don't have my chair in here. I didn't bring it. That's all right. I'm just going to sit here in a little hero's pose. And I'm going to read our quote. Laugh a lot, hate less, love much, and enjoy every moment. And I hope that you enjoyed this restorative yoga session. I truly enjoyed it. I feel really ready to just rest for the rest of the evening, but I've got some things I have to do. So it's kind of got me ready for that. I've had a nice little break. And then my other quote is, a happy person is one who delights in everything and envies no one. What a wonderful world if we did that. My dog has smashed my yoga bag over. I'm also preparing for my class in the morning, so I have everything packed by the door. And it's in his way, and he couldn't see it. He's knocked it all over. That was part of the noise that you heard. I apologize for all of that racket, but just think of it as wild animals in the brook, you know. I'm rubbing my hands together, bringing warmth, joy,
love, peace, and most of all tonight, delight into my heart center. And I bow and honor the delight in you, and ask that you honor the delight in others. Namaste. Ta ta for now. Next class will be called Adventure. And we'll do the series because I'm still teaching and I just find it easier to, since I have to write classes for each one of those and I practice them all week, then I'm just sharing what I've been teaching in person with everyone. Ta ta for now. Have a great night, day, week. See you next time.